How's it going? Welcome back to PiperDoug, doing farming stuff. As you can see, I'm in the workshop, doing a little bit of work here, but gonna get back to the old combining. It's been a little bit wet, but so that happened. Yeah, yesterday we got 3 inches of snow. So needless to say, the combining is at a bit of a standstill. Yeah, covered in snow. It's starting to melt. It is starting to melt, but yeah, as you can see, still got a fair bit. So, wet, snow, try and find a job inside, because it is actually cold. I think by the end of next week it's supposed to be a low night time of -6. And we still have 600 acres of soybeans, 180 acres of straight cut and canola to do, 160 acres of flax, and we still have 50 acres of corn silage to make, which is not a huge deal if it does get cold, but the rest of the stuff is. But as you can see, this is what I've been up to. As you can see, electrical panel. Yay, we got power. Yeah, the guys came and they run the power all the way over and to there. So, yeah, so the reason for this is 3/4 inch plywood. So this will be the backing for the workbenches. Plus, a lot of this will be sort of the racks, all the tools and stuff will hang up here, because I like to hang the tools up. I don't know if you've seen in my garage over across the road, because the shop does face the house. So yeah, in there. Yeah, I like to hang the tools up because I don't like going digging for stuff, and I think it looks quite tidy, quite neat and tidy. So yeah, very solid 3/4 inch. And then as you'll notice, all the way around the gap. Okay, so that's where the kicker plate will go. That's where the upper floor for PiperDoug's in the doghouse, kicked out the house. Doesn't happen, but you know, just in case. So yeah, there'll be a floor, goes up all the way over to there. But it's gonna be a bit of a wedge shape. I don't know if I've told you that, guys, this. So at this point, that point, it'll come out just a little ways and then over to there on an angle. And the reason for that is that when the hoist goes in this space here, and you come in the door, keep swinging you around here, you come in the door and then you can angle in to the hoist without, that way at least we don't have to take all the machines out. And yeah, this is another one of my long-term projects. I can't remember which side of the phone to look out for the camera. Yeah, 755. Now, lovely story about this. Bought this from a lovely fella. Oh yeah, it's a good runner. It's a good runner. Doesn't do a lot of work. Just sits around. So I get it home. Do a few jobs with it. Not much. Maybe, by the way, that's snow you can hear falling off the roof. Did maybe 6-7 hours of work with it. And came out one day, started up, and the engine ran away. Didn't run down the lane, ran away, revved through the frickin' limiter. My daughter was in the cab with me. So basically I drove the bucket into the ground as hard as I could to keep the RPMs down, told her to run. Because I knew, I've seen these on YouTube. If you want to see what it looks like, look up runaway diesels on YouTube. It's quite scary, actually. So I saved the engine, and if this ever happens to you, I pray it never does happen to you. But if it ever does, what you do is you have to get something in the intake. You either have to find a way to switch off the fuel, unless you have an oil leak in your turbo, because the engine will let you run off the oil and detonate. But you have to suffocate the intake, air intake. So what I did was, the breather is in this area here. It's not put back on yet. But I stuffed one of those reusable shopping bags right into the back of the filter cartridge opening. Suffocated the motor that way. But let me see if I can get you guys in there. It's kind of dark. But the injector pump, yeah, rebuilt. Rebuilt the injector pump and the injectors at a shop in the big town near here. So it was about $3 grand. Yeah, $3 grand out of 6 hours of work. That's what I see. So I went to see the guy, and he ran away, so he didn't want to see me. I think he probably knew what I was talking about. So, a while back, when you guys were all buying classic cars like Minis and Morris Minors, DB, this is what I got. I went to a nice auction. I don't know if a few of you guys will recognize that badge, but there you go. Fordson Major Diesel. Great old tractor. Was running not very well, and it was popping and farting, and then finally it just stopped starting. Yeah. So basically, there it is. Starter motor, had to get it cleaned and rebrushed, and the generator, so not an alternator, it's a generator because this is 6 volt. It had to be cleaned up and just maintenance stuff. So it's in the process of going back to work, and that will be a restoration. I am going to restore this tractor because, like I said, it is a good tractor. I know it runs, it's just having issues, so I need to rewire it. So went on to the old interwebs, onto the old eBates, and got one of these because I've never dealt with a 6 volt before, and plus I needed a wiring diagram. So yeah, snow falling off the roof. Damn it. But yeah, so you might notice this truck in the background. This is the 97. This is the old work truck, whereas my truck, where are you? There he is. The 03. This is the 7.3 motor. It's the 1997 truck. It's a 3/4 ton versus the other one's a 1 ton. This has the legendary Power Stroke 7.3 motor turbo. Great engine. This one's got 440,000 kilometers on it. It had a problem, and I think I covered this in one of the previous videos where the computer module, see if I can get you guys in here, down in there, that grey box. It was full of water. So I put the new module in and got it up and running, but it's still got a bit of a lazy fire in one of the cylinders. So what you do to try and figure out where you're what's the problem is you pull the rocker cover off, and then you start pulling the cap off the back of the injector, which I started doing. So what you do is, while it's running, you pull the plug out, and if the engine stumbles, that means that's a good injector, because if it starts stumbling, it means that injector was actually doing what it's supposed to do. So that side is fine. I've still got to take off the other side here and do the cap pull. But in the meantime, there was a sale at my favorite tool shop, and went and picked up one of these. Compression tester. I hope I don't have to use it. I hope it's an injector problem, because if not, it means I have bad rings or broken ring, or even worse, bad piston, which is going to get expensive. Because the plan was to get this thing up and running good enough and probably just sell it, because I got too many trucks, I've been told. I know, it's it's a bad word. It's too many trucks. Whoever heard such nonsense? But yeah, it's a cool old truck. It's an extended cab, 2-door, still a 6-seater, I think it is. Yeah, the long box, and it's a 4x4. Like I said, it was the work truck, but it's retired now. So the quad is in here. The module that I did the video on fixing, it was good for a while and it started acting up again. So I ordered a new one from old eBay there. So yeah, this is the part down here. So you have to take the whole front off to get to that stupid little thing in there. So great. But yeah, snow is melting, but apparently supposed to come back. And they're supposed to have -2s and -3s and -6s or some of the nights, which is way too flinking early for this right now. So it is. So now that I have this up, the electricians are going to come back and they're going to wire up my doors so I don't have to use the chains. And then put heaters in, because there's going to be 3, I think, big electric space heaters in here. Because the plan is eventually up above on the south facing roof part, we're going to put solar panels up there, and then hopefully, if we can get that all up and working properly, that solar array should power the whole farm. That's the plan. So yeah, so at some point you're going to be seeing a video on the tractor, the Fordson Major, getting restored. So basically just rewired and then painted, because like I said, it's apart from that, it's good. It has to get new front tires. The back ones are good. The front one is kind of crap, and that's actually a spare wheel off of one of the machines, because the one that came on it, the tire actually unwound. The whole wall came right off of it, so chooched. And then, yeah, at some point, I'll be digging into that thing. Put the engine back together, because that's basically all it's at now, is just to put the injectors back in, put the head back on. The head's actually on right now, but I want to take it back off because it's sat for a while, and I just want to make sure there isn't a bunch of brown stuff in there. But it should fire right up. Diggers are fun. Oh, they're fun. You start doing weird things with them, like gardening and things. It's great. Great fun. So, I am going to get back to work, because now that that's done, I am going to go and grab my son, Liam. And we're making racks to go up into the attic for storage, because I made one for this side, and now the missus wants one for there. And then we'll put a bunch of other stuff in there, because up there, in here, the attic is 6 feet tall, 12 feet wide, and 50 feet long. It's a very big attic. But when we did the renovations, the guy said, you can have the attic this size. If we want it smaller, we can have to add wood to the trusses. So this is as big as it's going to be, and you can always do it with storage. So yeah. So I'm going to be making those racks up in here, and then take them up there and screw them in. And then once I've got that done, and they can go and put all our stuff away, I can get back to putting in the man benches in here. Yeah. So once the benches go in, the guys come back and put all the plug-ins along the back wall, and start making this place useful. Once it's not dripping and crappy outside, then I can bring all of the 2x10 lumber over and start putting the flooring in for the upper deck. I still have to find the metal post that's going to hold this deck up, because it's going to have this swinging crane on it. So before it gets to 15 minutes, I'm going to sign off with you. That'll be a future video. And I'm going to get back to you hopefully in the next video and tell you who has been winning PiperDoug t-shirts. Hey, they're cool. So tidy bye for now.